What's up, everyone? This is Rattlehead coming at you guys with a brand new video. And this time around, I got something special that I've never done in this channel because I didn't have the setup for it. But something happened, and I want to give a quick shout out to Split Atom Labs for reaching out to me and asking me to give my thoughts and opinions of accessibility for this game that I have in front of us right now. We'll talk about it in more detail. This game is called Land of Livia and is available on the App Store. I will be putting all of the information in the description so you guys can check it out. And if you are interested in these types of games, you're more than welcome to check it out. I know my channel is not usually this type of gaming, but because it is an accessibility overview, I wanted to take the opportunity to do it and to discuss how they did it in terms of applying accessibility features for those who are completely blind. So again, huge shout outs to Split Atom Labs for reaching out to me. I wanted to do this earlier than anticipated, but I didn't have the setup and I needed help to make sure it captured good. So I did submit my feedback actually via email so they can have like a general idea, but I feel like it wasn't enough. I want to actually show in real time how accessible and how well they did as far as implementing accessibility for this mobile game. So again, thank you so much for Split Atom Labs for hooking me up with this game and giving me a chance to provide my thoughts and opinions about it. So, and then before I move on to the next thing, I also want to acknowledge my boys Dylan Hasashi and Rorschach the Brave for both helping me in their own way kind of set up the visuals, because it is it is challenging to kind of set that up. I was able to connect my phone and all the different equipment that I need to make mobile recordings for mobile gaming, but Hasashi and Rorschach kind of did their own thing, helping me out to make sure that it looks good. So shout outs to those guys, as they are our premier volunteer members for our official tournament series, the Central Showdown. So thank you guys for the assistance with that, with the visuals, and making us blind players look good out there when we do our streams. So appreciate that, you guys. All right, and saying that though, I want to talk about this mobile game that I've never done in this channel. I also recommend for you to check out Illegally Cited, who did his review quite a few weeks back now. He talked about it, and he also kind of gives the low vision perspective of it as well as the non-visual perspective. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with him. So I'll be sure to check that out, and be sure to follow his channel. So with that said, I want to get into this. Let's talk about the game, how well they did the accessibility, and how maybe if there are any improvements, how would I go about it, or what are my thoughts about making the game like better, if anything, right? If we can improve it, that is, because I think they did a great job. Just a few things too to acknowledge is that they Split Atom Labs, they did work with all types of players, including blind players, and the music that you're hearing right now in the background was actually composed by a blind musician. So that's pretty cool. I'm a musician as well, so that's awesome to hear. So they already kind of have the history on that. So my opinions and about accessibility are just gonna be more like what they already have, right? So different opinions and all of that, different experiences. And I come from mainstream gaming anyway. Like I play obviously mostly console gaming, PC gaming, stuff like that. But this is something different that I've never done before, and I'm glad to be given the opportunity to do so, to check it out. And I will say, not just because they reached out to me and everything, but I ended up playing this game now as part of my daily repertoire when I'm playing different kinds of games, and you'll see why. But anyway, so I want to jump right into it. Let's talk about the accessibility aspect of this mobile game. This one is called Land of Livia, and let's talk about it. All right off the bat, right now, as you can see this whole time as I was blabbering, this game is called Land of Livia and is a mobile game that has elements of RPG style gaming. So you basically have different locations, different settings that you can travel to, and you do quests, you level up your character, and you level up your gear, right? You can customize your gear, you can change the type of gear you have for your character, you can level up how much currency you can get in the game. In this game, they call it gold. It's the currency. And so you kind of see a lot of those things in this game. A lot of it, you do it through quests, like missions, basically. You know, go to this person, you got to talk to them, or rescue somebody, or find this item on this, like, remote location, blah, blah, blah. Like, all the different types of quests that you can do. And that's how the game goes throughout the, you know, as you're playing. What holds this game together is the story. That's a pretty interesting story from what I'm reading. So the more you play, the more you get to know a lot of these, you know, different characters, that what they do. You have some, you know, other enemies you have to defeat, you know. So there's all these things that you do, but a lot of it is story based, right? That this game is not gonna be like, you know, it's a mobile game, so it's not gonna have like action-packed sequences like The Last of Us or any other, like, or like a fighting game, right? So it's more like just, you know, touch and play. You know, you click and play. You know, and that's how you pretty much level up your character. It's based on the story, and you just, if you're interested in the story, just keep it going, right? I will say though that this game is, again, like I mentioned, it's available on the App Store, but you do have to, get to play the demo, and then you know, if you support the developer, then you purchase your copy. There are 12 chapters that you can unlock once you purchase your copy, and once you do that, you pretty much are you're able to play all of the chapters, and you just keep it going, right? And you do level up your character again with currency, the gold, as well as like different types of equipment and all the different you know, gear pieces that you collect. So yeah, that's what it is. So in saying that, let's actually jump into the game using your standard navigation gestures with voiceover. So we'll go ahead and do that, so that way we can showcase how they did implementing accessibility with accessibility features on, you know, that's already there. So let's check that out. Okay, so here we are with Land of Livia, and as soon as you load it up, the first thing that pops up is in your maps. So you're gonna have 4 main windows in this game, which are the following. You have maps, you have hero, you have craft, you have journal, and you have your campfire, which it's 5, by the way. I said 4, but it's 5. So we're gonna go through each section just to see how accessible these windows are. And so jumping right into it, on this main screen, you're always gonna find your settings.
Gold 553 of 2000.
No matter which window you go to, you're always gonna hear about your gold. So that's fine.
Button.
But this is where you can all your settings.
Strength level 9.
And see, these are some of the elements that you can level up, like your strength,
Dexterity level 8.
your dexterity, which you know, you can hear what level I'm in.
Intelligence level 7.
And what helps these areas to level up is your gear, like the type of gear that you're collecting, whether it's like gloves or weapons or head pieces, chest pieces, leg pieces, like all that stuff, belts, right? Necklaces, whatever, like all that stuff kind of like gives you like the ability to level up, and you can customize that on the hero section. But for now, let's look into how they did it here. And one thing I want to point out as we're browsing is how they implemented the accessibility, like that it's already on your phone, such as buttons, right? A lot of times we come across things where it literally just says button, and that doesn't mean anything. You know, it could mean any button, you know, and we're stuck with just kind of pressing and see what happens, right? And here we already know what it is. It says map navigation button. So if I click here, it takes us into
back button, serpent nearby, goals, heading, serpent ganglands, current location, defeat the sorceress. To progress closer to the sorceress tower, you need to find the Reef Shallows map. Callan, your sailor, mentions that he heard talk of such a map from some sea serpents he used to hang out with. He shows you how to get to their headquarters. Button.
Yeah, so you know, so it kind of gives you like a summary of what to do next here. And
nearby, heading, sea serpent headquarters, new, locked, west 2 minutes. Button.
You have all the different locations. And so one thing I like to point out right there is that it has elements that are labeled that are important to navigate something, right? Like it's telling us that it's a new location, that it's locked, and we need certain, you know, sometimes it will tell you if you need like a certain item, like a map or some kind of item to unlock that location. So it will tell you, but at the end it always says button, right? Which means you can click on it and you can interact with it, right? So that is a very basic accessibility, you know, labeling, what's the word I'm looking for?
Back. Button.
Criteria or requirement,
Current location.
and they did it, right? So keep in mind that they are working, or they did work with people who are blind, so they got really good feedback.
Current location. Serpent Ganglands. Button.
So right there, I really like that it tells me that's my current location right now, because I do have other map locations here, and so if it didn't have that, it would be difficult to kind of know where I am when I load up the game, because you kind of leave it behind, you go do something else, you come back like, oh, where am I now? Let's see, but it tells you right there, that's your current location. And so now if I get to go through these different
Requires unlocking.
map locations,
See Serpent Headquarters. Button.
so this one it says requires unlocking, right? And we already know where we saw that.
Town. Galadis. Button.
So there's another map location.
Archipelago Slums. Button.
Another location,
Call Motion. Button.
another location,
Town. Tour. Button.
and so on, right? Like, you get the point. It's that it's great that they have sort of those, like, the basic elements of labeling things specific to what the situation is. In this case, that we're looking for which map location I'm in right now, and the game already tells you as you're browsing. VoiceOver reads it out loud. So that's pretty cool. And of course, like as I mentioned, settings, right? If you go to
Current help. But map navigate. Intelligent. Dexterity. Strength. Settings. Gold 5. Settings. Button. Back. Button.
this is where you can adjust things here,
Settings. Heading. Accessibility. Heading. Haptic feedback enabled.
such as
Touch button
haptic
on.
feedback if you
Puzzle
want.
difficulty. Tutorial. Puzzle difficulty. Balance. Tutorial tips enabled.
Puzzle difficulty,
Switch
you
button.
can
Puzzle difficulty.
I have
Balance.
it
Button.
balanced right now.
Tutorial
Might
tips
change that
enabled.
later on.
Switch. Sound. Heading. Music enabled. Tutorial tips enabled.
Tutorials,
Music
right?
enabled. Music volume. 75%. Adjustable.
Yeah, right there. So while I'm here, and what just happened right now in real time, is that one thing that I do like, that I wish for them to do, and I'll talk about this in my in possible improvements thing, is that the music kind of just goes away after a while. I like my music in the background. I always like, it kind of makes me get immersed in the game, but it's gone now. So, but here you can adjust the volume and stuff like that, or you could even turn it off if you don't want to. But I don't see why we have the, well, we'll get into that. But
Sound effects. Sound effects.
this is
volume.
all the settings, right?
Back. Button.
So
Back.
there we go. That's
Current location.
that's the maps, that section, right? So while I'm here, let's go into the next window,
Tab
which
bar.
is
Journal. Crafting. Tab. Hero. Tab. 2 of 5.
your hero, right? So in here, if I click on this, now I'm still gonna hear my goal, how much gold
Info.
I got.
Gold 553 of items 25 of 27.
But now there's no settings button anymore, because here's where you have things like your items.
Selected. Hero. Button. 1 of 4.
So this is where I can, if you, right now I'm my hero selected. So right now, if I keep going, it's gonna get some other options.
Real estate. Button. 2 of 4.
Right here is where you can adjust how much gold you can hold. Like, you can increase how much gold you can get if you level up. I don't know, certain things in here.
Companions. Button.
And this
3 of
is
4.
where you basically have different types of companions that make you travel faster across different locations, because sometimes it does take a while. And again, I'll talk about the game itself when we get to that point.
Progress. Button. 4 of 4.
How much progress you made in the game, right?
Rattlehead.
And that's me, and that's how I name my character, right? So now that I found my name, now we can look into the hero itself, where we have different gear pieces like chest armor, head armor, your weapons like a sword or whatever it is, right? So let's go to them real quick.
Sell junk. Button. Auto equip. Sell junk. Button.
Oh, but here, of course, before I get into that, you can sell your junk here, like, because you're gonna collect a lot of stuff that you're not even gonna use anymore, so you can sell it and you can gain some gold that way.
Auto equip. Button.
You can auto equip everything if you want, but this is where you kind of customize
Weapon slot. Bronze sword. Level
your
9.
your
Button.
your gear pieces to kind of see what's the strongest, right? What's gonna protect you the most as well, like, and all that stuff.
Head slot. Bronze helm. Chest slot. Bronze arm. Hand slot. Cloth gloves. Level 8. Button.
So yeah, it even tells you what level, like how much it has, like what level it is, so you can kind of customize that to your will. So you can do it manually, or you can do it automatically. So then the next window
bar.
that we
Tab.
have
Campfire.
here, so I
One
won't
item.
get more into that. It's just that there's a lot to go in through all of these windows, but just know that
Weapons,
everything that
head
I'm
slot,
clicking on is fully accessible. You know what? Just to be sure, right?
Gold
Just to be
5
sure,
items
I'm gonna
25.
click
Select
on.
real estate. Button. 2
Let's
of 4.
switch to since we're in the hero window, we'll switch to real estate real quick.
Selected. Real estate. 2 of 4. Trading post bank. Level 2 real estate. Increases max gold. Button.
So there you go. It even tells you like all this other stuff increases max gold. Now, since I don't have enough gold right now, it's not gonna tell me to upgrade. It won't say it, but if I do, it'll say can upgrade. It'll tell me that. So like there's the elements that need to be read. We're always gonna be read based on
Abandoned shack.
whatever information is there.
Gold 500 items 25 gold 550 item hero button selected companion select hero but companions.
So companions,
button,
right?
Companions.
Let's do this
3
real
of
quick
4.
and then we'll switch to the next window.
Parrot level 2 companion increases bonus gold from quests button.
Oh, there you go. So
Donkey max level companion reduces path time button. Tab bar map Parrot Rupert the Scholar level 1 companion increases number of guesses when lore researching button.
So this is where you can kind of level increase your efficiency with these, whether it's getting gold or whatever or travel faster, right? All that stuff, right? So it's here.
Hero button 1 of 4 items hero real estate button hero button 1 of 4.
I'm gonna click back
Selected.
on hero.
Hero 1 of
and
4.
we're back on hero again. Okay, so then the next window we have
Tab
here
bar,
is
journal tab 4 of crafting tab.
your crafting, and this is where you find special items or special relics, I guess, where you can kind of craft, you can combine,
Uncut
or
topaz,
just
100%.
or just upgrade. Like for example, here,
Uncut ruby 100%. Tier 1, Constitution 12, Wisdom 0, Charisma 0. Can upgrade button.
so yeah, you can. It says can upgrade. So you have other things other than strength, and intelligence or dexterity or whatever. There's other things like
Uncut ruby
as
100%.
it says here.
Tier 1, Constitution 12, Wisdom 0.
Wisdom,
Charisma
Constitution,
0. Can
Charisma.
upgrade button.
Right, you have all that stuff too, and so that's over here. So you can kind of level some of those things as
Tier
well.
button. Pop up button. Highest button. Pop up sort by.
So yeah, this is a cut now, and then the next window
bar,
here,
campfire, journal tab.
journal. This is basically where you keep up with like the main story and kind of read through the chapter names as to see what's next, generally speaking, or whatever. But it also like this is what generates when a lot of messages generate when you have to do like a new goal pops up, that what's the next major quest that you got to do. It kind of gives you a clue, like a tutorial message basically. What to do next or whatever. It pops up and it reads it like it's reading everything else right now. So that's where it goes. But here it kind of gives you like
Prelude,
a general of the
chapters,
story.
Heading, restore. Prelude, the Sorceress, and the Sea. Grow your character through exploration and questing from a modest farmhand into a worldly adventurer. Venture across land and seek to uncover the beginnings of a dark conspiracy afoot in the Land of Livia. Button.
There you go. So it kind of gives like a general overview, right?
Upcoming chapters. Heading.
And it tells you the upcoming chapters. So let's check out.
Chapter 1. A Land Divided. Travel north to Herafia, Thardric City, and of course the free city of Farhaven, but don't let the veneer of civilization fool you. The north is as wild as ever. Explore more locations, solve more legends, and immerse yourself deeper in the epic narrative to uncover the truth.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. So it kind of gives you like a summary of what the next chapter is or whatever. So it's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool.
Current chapters.
And it reads it.
Journal, heading.
And
Tab bar, campfire.
the final
item,
section
tab,
that I
5.
want to showcase real quick here is
Campfire.
the
One item,
campfire,
tab.
which is this is like a chat section where people are talking to each other in real time. And you can type your message too, and it's fully accessible.
Scroll, tab bar, map, hero, tab, crafting, tab, 3 of 5, journal, selected, campfire, tab, 5, campfire, heading, selected, chat, rankings, button, 2 of 3.
You can see your people's rankings here, right? In this,
Selected,
I'm currently in the chat window right now.
Rankings,
We can go to the rankings.
Info, button, 3 of 3.
Information.
Enter a chat message, text field.
And here it's fully accessible. Now, I'm not going to type, obviously, here because I have nothing to say right now. But people do have messages, and I won't read them either. But maybe people can see it on the screen.
Send button.
And there goes the send button, right? So it's right there. It's fully accessible.
Monica found the legendary Legger's coat 34 minutes, 35 seconds ago.
So here it also kind of tells everyone what people in the game have done, what they have achieved. Maybe they found like legendary items that nobody else has found or whatever. So it gives you the credit here. And of course it also generates like real chat messages. People ask questions, they help each other out and all that cool stuff here. So, and you got all kinds of players, like people who can see, people who can't, so pretty cool. So great.
Tab
Good
bar,
stuff.
Selected. Campfire, map, tab, 1 of 5.
As we can see, right, it's fully accessible. Like I'm playing it with
Gold
no
550
vision.
of 2000, gold 550
Matter of fact, I'm going to do this thing real quick. And this is an iPhone feature where I can black out my screen by using this command.
Screen curtain on.
Screen curtain. There's nothing on the screen right now.
Settings. But strength level 9. Dexterity level 8.
And it wouldn't matter to me because like voiceover is still doing a great job of reading everything that's on the screen. So now let's turn that off.
Screen curtain off.
Okay, so but yeah, it's good. So overall, I would say, yeah, it's as far as accessibility, it's fully accessible. All of your standard voiceover gestures work. Everything is fluent. There's no lag or anything like that. The game just runs smoothly, and yeah, and it's fun to play. It's meant to be relaxing, you know. So and just to pass the time, you know. If you're on for a lot of us, we use a lot of public transportation. So if you're on the bus or you know you're on your Uber, you know you can start this game and do your quests and everything, and you won't have any problem with it. So, all right. With that said, let's talk about now the like maybe possible improvements and just my overall thoughts of this game. So as far as improvements, honestly, because they already work with blind players already, there isn't much to be said about accessibility. I think it's where it should be. If there are any bugs or any glitches, that's more of like quality of life type of thing, because the game is already good to go. So I mean, me just kind of going over it is essentially just an overview, right, of what's already there. I think Split Atom Labs did a great job at implementing all the accessibility features that already exist on with voiceover, as I mentioned. Visually, I guess again, check out Illegally Cited to hear his opinion on that. But as far as like non-visual, it's good. It's where it needs to be, right? So nothing else to add in terms of that. Everything's labeled, buttons. You can access your text messages like on the chat window on the campfire. You can read all the story through the text. It reads everything, not a problem. So that's pretty good. The only thing though that probably comes from my perspective as a mainstream gamer, as far as like using console and PC gaming, and and again, my opinion, I'm aware it comes from like it's preset, right? Because I'm primed to think of like fast-paced gaming, always on the go, stressful situations, but let's be real about it. This game is not for that. It's meant to do the opposite, which is take your time and just relax and read the story. And the way I look at it is more like an interactive book, right? That's what I look at it. You're doing all these different quests and you're leveling up your character, but at the same time you're kind of going through the story. You gotta defeat the sorceress. You gotta go into the bar. You gotta do some quests like outside the towns or all this stuff, right? So it's meant to be relaxing. It's meant to be just forget about your fast-paced gaming for a little bit. Calm down, right? But in saying that though, that kind of leads me to one thing that I hope that maybe they can look into or at least think about, because I know that this game is already like done and they're just pushing out updates as they go, but it's the timing of the quests. So one thing that I've done to keep my interest in this game is that when I do the quests, I basically, once I do that, I drop the game and go do something else. I don't know, work or go play another game, like a fighting game, or go play some other game, right? So, and the reason why is because these quests do take forever. And I'm talking about like a long time, right? So to showcase that real quick, I am going to
Requires unlocking. Town. Galadas. Required current location. Serpent Ganglands.
do this quest real quick to show you.
Gold reward 53. Auto equip best items for this quest. Gold reward success check. Gamble with gang members. Success gold reward auto equip best item. 49 minutes duration.
So this quest right here is 49 minutes, and this is real time. 49 minutes real time. Once you click on it, you're pretty much stuck there doing the quest, and you can still browse like around doing other things like the chat, messing around with your character, and stuff like that. You can kind of go to different windows, but as far as like the main game, you're pretty much stuck. You can't do anything else, until the quest is done. And one that really got me, and I was just laughing about it, was one where I had to be a bartender, and basically, I clicked it, and it was literally 8 hours, like 8-hour quest, So I left it alone, and what I did is I used it. I started at 7:30 in the morning, right when I go in at work, and and then when the quest was done and I got the notification, it was literally like a way for me to know that it was time to get off work, so it was literally 8 hours of that. So so that's the thing. So hopefully they can kind of speed that up. Now I will say though that in other aspects of the game, they do have it where you do increase the speed of how fast the game moves on. For example, traveling, you basically can have it where if you level up, let's say your companions on the companion section, if you go there and you basically look up like, oh, this horse will increase your travel time from, let's say, I don't know, it takes 20 minutes, and it'll say, and I'm probably just naming the numbers incorrectly right now, but just an example though, like maybe to cut it like in, I don't know, maybe from 20 minutes to like 16 minutes, right? Or, a 10 minutes of travel, it'll cost you like, 8 minutes or less, right? Or sometimes in half or whatever the case may be. So in other aspects, they do have that kind of stuff. Obviously too for gold, right? You can level up your gold, all that stuff, and everything. But I feel like the quests, if they can implement something where like you can also level up too, where the quests just get faster over time, you don't have to just sit there and wait, But again, that's me coming from, fast-paced gaming all the time, so it's just that, Other than that, yeah, this game, if you're interested in the story, I think that's what keeps it going, because you're curious what happens next, and it's a pretty simple story, nothing extremely complex or nothing, but it's just, nice to meet like different characters and, your characters interacting with other characters and stuff like that throughout the story. And right now, I was going to get into something that just happened right now. So I briefly mentioned on this. I mentioned that as I was browsing the game and kind of showing you guys the settings. One thing that I would like for them to do is for it to keep the music looping, like play through the different tracks, but then cycle back to the beginning. Because I myself, and this is a biased opinion, so I like my music in the background because it makes me get immersed into the game. I know that a lot of blind players actually prefer the music off, and there is the option for that, so if you don't want the music, just turn it off. But for me, what's the point of having the music on if it's gonna cycle through once and then it's done? The only way you can reset that is by literally shutting down the app and then bringing it back up again, and the music, comes back on again. So maybe that's something they can do, but again, that's just me. I mean, it's really not a big deal at all. Like it's whatever, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those like minor things, really. Like it's not gonna kill the game for me or anything like that. Although, it does feel like I'm just, once the music is not there anymore, I'm just like browsing any other app and it doesn't feel like a game anymore for me. But again, that's just my opinion. And, cause I'm a musician and I like music, so, and that's it. Other than that, I really have nothing else to, comment on that. I feel like this game is good as far as accessibility is concerned. And it's something new for me as far as mobile gaming, right? I think I will say I did mention that I didn't play any mobile games. I will correct myself. Actually, I did play some other games, but they're like audio games, right? But this one is it's targeted more to a wider audience because it's not just audio, it's like visuals as well. So, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. And before I leave, I'm gonna go ahead and do this quest.
Tab bar. Hero. Tab. Select. Attempt. Button. Attempt. Current location. Serpent Ganglands. Button.
And it's gonna, do it for 49 minutes. And while it's doing that, I just want to thank you guys again if you made it all the way this far. Again, thank you to Split Atom Labs. All the information will be in the description. Thank you for allowing me to get a chance to play this game. And again, shout outs to Hasashi and Rorschach for setting up my recording setup so I can record this and hopefully more projects in the future for this kind of stuff, right? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Rattlehead. Again, thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. If you support accessibility, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Rattlehead signing out. Peace.